June 30, 2026, I have officially completed 1,000 miles this year. And today we're going to be running a half marathon, and then I will be officially halfway to 2026 miles. I think we're going to get stormed on. We're running in Shanghai Expo Culture Park today, so let's go. Welcome to Run the Year. My name is Ben, and I'm attempting to run 2026 miles in 2026. The breakdown of that: 5.5 miles every day, 39 miles per week, 169 miles every single month, and you will get to 2026. I've already run 1,000, and today we're gonna get halfway. This park is one of my regular running spots. It's a beautiful place to run. I do think the rain is coming. There's been torrential rain every single day, but just gonna do a short video on my run today. And then at the end of this, we're gonna do a Q&A because I got some really good questions on the 900 mile video a few weeks ago. So gonna be answering some questions today. That is 1 mile down. This park is beautiful. Normally full of people, but the rain has definitely scared a lot of people away. It's currently 80 degrees. The humidity is sky high. It is disgusting. I'm sweating already. Waterfall. I am back to where I started. Just gonna do laps of the park today. One lap is about 2.1 miles. Let's keep going. Just look at that gray sky that's coming over here. Oh my gosh, it's about to pour. Waterfall. That is 2 laps, 2.25 miles. Let's go. That is Shanghai Greenhouse. So if you didn't know, a half marathon is 13.1 miles. So that is about 7 laps of the park. I'm not sure how far I'm going to go today. Maybe just a half marathon to get me to 1,013 miles. But recently, my whole attitude towards this challenge has changed because I've slowed down. I was going way too fast. And I thought to myself, if I can go fast, why wouldn't I go fast? But I was getting burnt out, and I just physically could not run the next day and the next day because every single time I run, I have to think about the next run. Maybe I have to run again tomorrow. Maybe I have to run again the day after that. So you can't just go flat out 100% every single time I run because I always have to be thinking about the next run. And it's definitely consistency has definitely been one of the hardest things about this challenge because you always have to be thinking about the next one and the next one. Look at that, sweating buckets. So in terms of pace, I've always said right from the start when I started this challenge, I don't care about pace. It's all about distance, it's all about adding the miles up. But I can definitely feel myself getting stronger and getting faster. And it's very, very difficult to slow down when I know I can go faster. Right now, I'm currently running at 8 minutes 30 pace, and it's very, very comfortable. I can still have a conversation. I know I can go faster, but I'm physically slowing myself down so I can go further because I always thought you need to go the best that you can every single run, but that's not how it works if you want to do longer distances and you want to get stronger. So it's definitely difficult to slow down. It's definitely a bit of ego thing because I'm like, I can go faster than this, so why don't I? But like I said, got to always be thinking about the next run. Waterfall. So on a clear day, you can see the Shanghai skyline right there, but not today. That is lap number 3, 6.36 miles. Let's go. There's a shuttle bus that goes all the way around the park, and each shuttle stop has a vending machine. So let's get a cold beverage. Oh, that is incredible. So I've been going for 1 hour and 5 minutes. I don't know how far I'm gonna go today. I honestly never really know how far I'm gonna go just until I get bored or I get tired. And I usually get bored before I get tired. So I was gonna save all the questions till after the run, but I'm gonna answer one now. And David asked me, are there any days where I really don't wanna go and run? Honestly, this is the truth. Every single day I don't wanna run. I did not wanna run today. I'm not enjoying this. I just wanna be finished. I enjoy the feeling after. I'm not having fun right now, but I know when I finish running, I'm gonna feel accomplished. I'm gonna be happy that I went out there and I did it. So honestly, it's every single day. I don't look forward to running, but That's why I took up this challenge, because I wanted to push myself and not make excuses. I could have made an excuse today, it's gonna rain, or I don't feel good, or I'm tired. But honestly, I'm tired every single day. And are there any days that I don't want to run? Every single day. Here we go, I'm off again. So the secret is, don't be afraid to take breaks, but don't stop for too long because it takes my legs a while to get going again. So here we go. That is 4 laps, 8.5. Let's go. I was pretty certain that I was gonna get stormed on today, but I might get lucky. I wanna be your friend on Strava. Scan this QR code, well, there's a link in the description so you can track my progress. And you can see that I've officially run over 1,000 miles. I can't believe it. Honestly, cannot believe it. I remember January the 1st, when my first ever run, it was freezing cold. And I was trying to imagine what it would be like to have 200, to have 500, to have 700. And the fact that I'm 6 months in and I'm exactly halfway, can't believe it. But I did that. I did every single one of those miles. I've run 1,000 miles by myself and no one did that for me. And you know, I'm not afraid to say I'm proud of myself. There's a long way to go, so I'm not getting too excited, but I'm definitely going to enjoy this 1,000 miles. But everything I've done already, I need to do it again. So every single week, my Strava goes back to 0 for that week. So just got to keep building up the miles. I'm not thinking about 1,100 or 1,200. I'm just thinking about today. Just get through today and then see what happens tomorrow, see what happens the next day. And yeah, definitely going to keep smiling because if I don't smile, what's the alternative? The alternative is just to cry because I really don't want to be doing this. But, you know, that's the only way to get better. Push yourself, don't make excuses, and just get it done. That's all I'm thinking about. No one's going to do it for me unless I do it. So just got to keep doing it. I think I spoke too soon. Here comes the rain. It's pouring. There's usually so many people running in this park, but only 2 I've seen so far. The rain has definitely scared some people away, but there's a lot of runners in the evening. It is currently 6:15, and I usually run later than this. I usually start running after 7 because that's when the sun sets. But yeah, the weather was disgusting today. It's starting to cool down a lot, but very, very muggy and humid. But here comes the rain. By the way, no more waterfall. They turned it off. Turns off at 5:30. That is the world famous Mushroom Land. And that is 5 laps completed, 10.6 miles. Let's go. Okay, I'll admit this is a little bit fun, but who wants to be out here in the rain? Nobody does. That's why nobody else is here. But it's gonna feel even better when I finish this run and I can see those numbers go up and up on Strava, because that's what it's about. Oh, makes you feel alive, I tell you that. Definitely feel alive out here. It is pouring down. Don't know if you can see that, but it is pouring. Wow, no excuse. Wow, the rain just got heavier and heavier and heavier, and then my phone got wet, so I couldn't film any more videos for today's run. So I'm sorry about that, but today's total was 17 miles. Here it is. You can see all the data on my Strava, so you can scan the QR code or you can click the link in the description to see all of my data. I'm officially halfway to 2,023 miles. So everything I've already done this year, I need to do it again and I will get to my goal. I didn't do this run today. It's actually a few days after that, just because I was so tired. I don't think there's been a day this year that I've not been tired. So anyone that thinks I wake up every day super fresh and excited to run, absolutely not. I am always so tired and I'm in pain every single day, but I'm in the middle of this challenge and I have to finish it. So I have some questions that some kind people have asked me. So I appreciate your questions very, very much. If you have any questions about this challenge, about running, about anything really, about my experience, then please feel free to write a comment and I would definitely answer that, because I love reading comments. So let's get into it. The first question is from David. David says, why are you doing this? David wasn't the only person to ask me this. This was definitely the most asked question. And the truth is, I definitely wanted to run this year in 2026, but I didn't just want to say I want to run more, because what does that mean? Like, what does more mean? So I definitely had to put a number on it. I had to put something to aim for. And I just saw this thing online about run the year, and it was definitely a big challenge. And I didn't want to give myself an easy challenge. I didn't want to give myself an excuse to not put the work in and to not, to not run a lot. So that's honestly why I decided to do this challenge, just because I wanted to have something to aim for. I wanted to do something difficult. I wanted to prove to myself, like, I'm not doing this to prove to anybody else, just to prove to myself that I can do it. I can do it without making excuses, and I can do it like I love it, even though I don't love it. But that is the main reason why I'm doing this. And of course, I want to get fitter. I want to feel better. I want to get stronger. And those are definitely a result of this challenge. So yeah, I can't believe I'm halfway, but that's why I'm doing this. The next question is from Rick. Rick says, please talk about your shoes. So let me show you. So these are the shoes that I wore today. These are actually the second pair of Adidas that I've had. They are Adidas Adizero SL2. I started the year with a blue pair, and now I have a black pair, and very, very comfortable. I think people call them like an everyday runner shoe, like nothing special, but they definitely get the job done. They're definitely comfortable, and they last a long time, to be honest, because I don't really count the miles for each shoe, because I wear a few different pairs and I just rotate them, just purely depending on how I feel. But the reason I wore these ones today is because I knew it was going to rain, and I do have an expensive pair, which I'm going to show you in a second, and I try not to wear them when it's raining. I'm sure they're fine because they're running shoes, but I have I guess an older pair or a less expensive pair, so I definitely want to wear these out before I wear out the new ones, the expensive ones. But yeah, Adidas Adizero SL2. And then I also have a pair of On Cloud. These are super duper comfortable. I've had these for over a year now. I actually wore them just for walking, everyday walking, for about 6 months before I started running in them. Probably over 6 months actually. So they're definitely on the way out. They definitely need to be replaced very, very soon. But On Cloud, very, very, very comfortable. I love On Clouds. I would definitely buy another pair of On Clouds, but very, very expensive. And another pair of shoes that are expensive are these. So I guess these are my main running shoes. If I had a marathon tomorrow, I would definitely wear these. So these are Nike Zoom Fly 6. Extremely comfortable. Maybe the most comfortable shoes I've ever had in my life. They are not cheap, but they definitely make a huge difference. You can see the heel here, like it's so spongy, it's so soft. And I definitely gonna wear these a lot. And you can see they're already getting worn down already. I've had these for probably a couple of months. I've done a lot of runs in them, a lot of long runs in them, but they are so comfortable. So 2 pieces of advice I've already spoken about. Number 1 is you have to slow down. And number 2 is you have to get a good pair of shoes. You don't have to go and spend so much money. Of course, I don't know, would I say I'm a serious runner? Probably not, but I do it a lot. And so if you're gonna do running a lot, then you have to spend a little bit more money to get some comfortable shoes, just because you have to take care of your feet and you want to be comfortable. So yeah, these are definitely the most expensive shoes I've ever had in my life, but I definitely feel the difference when I wear these. So those are my shoes. So another piece of gear that I use for every single run is my watch. So this is a Coros watch, and Coros is actually a Chinese brand. I live here in China, if you didn't know. And question number 3 is from Nicola. And Nicola asked, do you think it helps to live in a place that is runner friendly like Shanghai? Yes, I absolutely do, because you saw the running route that I ran during this run, and it is beautiful. There are so many beautiful running routes in Shanghai. It's extremely runner friendly. It's very, very easy to just get out there and run. The most annoying thing when I'm running is traffic lights. I don't want to keep stopping at traffic lights. That's why I wake up very, very early, like 5 a.m. just because the streets are empty, or I go very, very late at night, or I go to the park, or I run along the river just because there's no traffic lights there. So yeah, I definitely love that I live in a place that is very, very, very runner friendly. Question number 4 is from Sarah. Sarah says, what has been the biggest surprise during this challenge? The biggest surprise is, it is an absolute miracle that I have not had an injury. How have I run? This run was my 100th run this year. How have I run 1,000 miles and not had an injury? I honestly don't know. I think I just got extremely, extremely lucky. Of course, I do take care of myself very, very well, but still, that is a lot of running. It's a lot of running. So how I haven't had an injury that's put me out of action for a long time, I honestly don't know. Like, I don't have any tips about that. Just eat well, take care of yourself, do a lot of stretching, and use the rest days. I remember in January, I did have one injury, and I couldn't run for a week. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be the story of the whole year.
every single month I'm going to have an injury. It's going to slow me down, and it's not going to be a good time. But since then, I have not had any injury that stopped me running. I'm sore every day. I'm in pain every day, but it hasn't stopped me running. So yeah, I can't remember any time apart from that January where I had an injury that stopped me running. So I think that's been the biggest surprise, to be honest. It's a miracle. Next question is from Mary. Mary says, do I have any marathons coming up? Yes, Mary. This month, I am running an ultra marathon. The longest distance I've ever done in my life. I will be doing it this month, and I'm a little bit nervous about it, to be honest, because I've never run this far before, and it's further than a marathon. Of course, it's an ultra marathon, but it's something that I've definitely wanted to do. And number 6, last question, is from Rachel. Rachel says, have I ever considered being a professional runner? Absolutely no. I don't think people realize just how good amateur runners are. There are some amateur runners out there that are faster, that perform better in marathons than professional runners. Like, there are some amateur runners that beat some professional runners at the London Marathon. Like, they got faster times. It's incredible the kind of speed, the kind of stuff that people can do. And they're not even professional runners. Like, they have full-time jobs, and it's crazy, to be honest, like just how good amateur runners are. So I want to take it more seriously, but I don't want to take it like so seriously, because number one, I like eating food, and I like KFC, and I like cake, and I like donuts. And yeah, it takes over your life, to be honest, because anyone that's ever done a marathon, you have to dedicate your whole life to getting ready for this marathon, because you don't want to go into it not prepared. You're not going to have a good time. You're not going to enjoy it, and you're going to be hating life for those few hours. So you definitely have to train for a marathon. It is not a flex. It is not something to brag about if you do a marathon without training. I don't understand why people do that, because you're not gonna get anything out of it. You're gonna hate life. But I've not considered taking it more seriously. I definitely want to do longer runs. Like, I want to do hard things. Like that is the whole point of this challenge. But in terms of just giving everything up and just focusing on running, no, not really. Just because it takes your whole life. Like, you have to dedicate your whole life if you actually want to be serious about it. And unless you're absolutely gifted, like some of these runners, like, it's crazy, because I join a running club sometimes here in Shanghai, and sometimes I think, wow, I'm a good runner. Like, I feel like I'm a good runner. And then I run with these guys and these women. I'm like, wow, I am so far behind, because they are such good runners, and they're just amateur runners. Like, there's a guy in my running club, he's like 50, like probably over 50, and not saying that's old. I'm not saying it's old, but still, he's older than me, and he is flying. He is absolutely flying. He has not been running his whole life. He only picked it up a few years ago, but he is flying past me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I still have so much to work on, which everybody does, but still, like, the amateur runners are so good. So no, never considered being a professional runner. I definitely like filming these videos, and I like doing events, and I like documenting my progress and like talking about it and stuff. But yeah, I definitely not considered being a professional runner. Maybe someday, but I doubt it. All right, that's it. That's all the questions that I got in the last video. If you have any more questions, then please write them in the comments, and I would definitely answer those, because I love sharing my progress, and I love sharing these videos with you. And I hope that you get some value, some entertainment, something from these videos, because it's definitely been a journey so far, and it's just getting started, it feels like, because it's only halfway. So I really appreciate you watching this video. I appreciate the questions. If you have any more, then let me know. Please be my friend on Strava. I like to get more friends on Strava. Scan this QR code, or you can click the link in the description, and you can track all of my progress. Every single run that I do goes to my watch. It goes to my Strava, and I love watching the data. I love watching the numbers go up every single time, because it's a good feeling to feel accomplished, to be honest, because when I look at 1,000 miles, nobody did that for me. Like, nobody did that. I got out there and I did that every single time. 100 times I put my shoes on, I've got out there and I've ran. And nobody did that for me. And I'm very, very proud of what I've done so far. I definitely don't ever consider stopping this challenge. I definitely want to make it to the end, and I hope that I can. It's gonna be a big challenge, but I'm up to it, and I hope that you want to watch more, because of course there's a lot more videos coming. There's probably going to be an update at, I don't know, sometime 1100 or 1200, or of course I'm going to take a video of the ultra marathon coming up. It's this month. So thank you so much for watching. Hit subscribe if you want to follow my journey, be my friend on Strava, write a question, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.